Hola guys, buenos dias, buenas tardes. Call me baby. She's gonna roll us a joint. So while she's rolling the joint, I'm gonna start the video. So I got this email from a viewer. It says, "Hey John, I found your channel on YouTube about a week ago. Was curious if you offered some personal consulting. You cover a lot in your videos, but it's kind of broad and I couldn't really find a whole lot of content that could relate on the specific situation that I have. Thanks." So I said, sure. And then he said, "What's up? So I'm trying to keep this short, but probably impossible. Been married for 13 years. His wife is a great woman and they have a couple kids, but sexually he's not fulfilled. He gets regular action, but that's not the issue. However, there are a few things that she refuses to do that previous girls that I've dated were into. Nothing crazy, but nonetheless, it's an issue." So I'm gonna stop it right there and then break down his message. He's been married for over 10 years now, and his wife is a great woman and they have kids together, but he's not fulfilled sexually. He gets laid regularly, but it's not the problem. And this is a common issue for everyone. Like, if you're with a person for a long time, it's gonna get old and repetitive and kind of like, you know what to expect already, kind of, you know. And as a man, we're not wired for that. We're wired to have lots of young, hot girls, as many as we can find, because the reason we want that is because we're wired to have offspring, and younger girls, kind of like fruit where they're ripe. That's when what we're supposed to go for, like the ripe fruit. And like, you know, when you're with an older girl, they're no longer ripe. They're more like a fruit, sour or rotten or whatever. And you don't really want to eat that fruit anymore, compared to like a girl like her next to me that's young and ripe in her prime, you know, and prime for making babies. And that's what a man's instinct is to go after. And like, monogamy is something that society has kind of like forced us to try and like adhere to, even if we don't want to. And then we look bad if you know, if we don't adhere to that standard that society makes us, you know. Like, if we don't stick, like, let's say that he was open about this and went and goes and bangs a young hot chick in his area wherever he lives. People will look down upon that, you know, call him a cheater or a scumbag or an asshole, whatever. And like, it's just that putting down to the point where he feels he's going to be put to shame for what he wants to do, what we're naturally wanting to do, you know. So even though he's getting laid a lot, it's not the issue. It's because it's no different. So another way to put it is like, let's say you like Chinese food. You love Chinese food. It's your favorite food in the world, right? But you can't just eat Chinese food every day for the rest of your life. That's essentially what being married or having a long-term partner is. Ay, gracias. Look at this fat ass joint she just rolled. With her hands, without a roller. She rolled us some purple weed. Like I was saying, we can't have Chinese food every day for the rest of our life. You're gonna want to have some different food, some variety that, you know, just like girls, you're gonna want to have variety. Variety is the spice of life. And here's the thing. Another thing is, sorry guys, I just got some guy sent me a cash app for $1 and asked me to call him. Fucking funny. But anyways, even though he's getting laid a lot, he's not fulfilled by whatever the girl is doing. You know, and why would he be? She's probably older. She's probably gained weight. Her body's probably tore up from having kids. So, you know, He's not getting satisfied. And here's the other thing. His wife is not doing things that he wants her to do. That's understandable, you know? Like, some girls, they don't want to do certain things, and you can't blame them, you know? And you can't force them. You don't want them to do something they don't want to do. So, instead of complaining about it, if you already brought it up and they don't want to do it, don't force them. You know, like, for my advice for this guy, don't force your wife, don't fight with her about it. Just go take care of it on your own and handle business and, like, get it satisfied somewhere else, you know? And that's what he's writing to me about. I'm gonna continue with his email, but I just wanted to stop there and talk about that real quick because, you know, there's a lot of guys going through this, and, like, I know you took a vow to be true to your wife and all that stuff, but there's certain things he wants to do that she ain't gonna do, and like I said, you can't force him. So here's the next part. He's going to Vegas soon, and he plans on hiring one of those expensive escorts that do all the screening and all that BS, like what I talked about in another video, the common scams that escorts are doing. If you haven't seen that, watch it. It's the one with Scarlett Johansson is on the cover photo of the video. That kind of talks about what he's talking about right here. It's not at all ideal, but I feel like it's the safest way, and his options are limited. All right, let's stop right there. So that's the thing, guys. Like, if you don't know about coming to places like where I live here in Mexico, or, you know, other Latin American countries or East Asia, or even parts of Eastern Europe, people think Vegas is the best option. Well, it's not. And look what he's gonna do. He's gonna put himself through the stupid screening process that they do, all to get taken advantage of. And she ain't even gonna be as like what the picture says, you know? I'm gonna cover that. So I took down some notes, like, for my advice for this Vegas thing. Because if he's already going to Vegas for something, for like a conference or whatever, work, he's gonna want to get laid. And, like, we've been through it, even me. Like, when I go to Vegas, I hate going to Vegas because all I know is an expensive, overrated tease. Everything you do there is expensive. The eating, the gambling, if you lose, the hotels are expensive, you know, the car rentals, the airfare, everything you do down there is super expensive. Like, I don't know anything that's cheap down there. Yeah, the gas is cheaper than California, but it's still expensive. But when you're there, you're gonna want to get laid because you're there and you're away from your wife or everyone else, and, you know, you're still horny. Especially if you drink. Like, when I drink, I get horny after I drink, you know? And you get drunk, you're gonna want to bang. So, you know, it's the worst place to do it. You're just gonna get teased, and you're just gonna get extorted, you know, for way more than they said it would cost. So, like, every time I've done the Vegas thing, like, you got the escort sites, you got the guys passing out the cards on the street, you got the guys walking around with these backpacks that are mobile billboards that are lit up, and it changes, and it shows, like, it shows hot girls on the picture on the back of the billboards. If you've been to Vegas, you know what I'm talking about. It's like a flat screen TV on their back that they're wearing, you know? It's like they're wearing a flat screen TV on their back advertising these escort agencies. And every time I've gotten one of those, it's always been the same outcome. The girl never looks like what the pictures that they showed. And you ask them, does this include everything? They say yes. And they're gonna tell you it's only $250 or some number like that to get you to $250 or $300 or whatever, and to get you to order it. And then here's what happens when they get to your place. Not just for the bait and switch thing that they pulled on the girl. Like, I've done it, I'm guilty of it, you know? Like, I when I used to go to Vegas a lot, I had no choice. I was horny, you know? So what ends up happening is that you end up taking the girl anyway because she's there, she's standing at your door, you know, and she's wanting to come in, or you're like thinking if you want to send her away because she's not the girl that you thought that was in the picture, but you do it anyway. So what ends up happening is when you get her in the room, then she asks you for the money. Okay, where's the money? You give her $250 or whatever they agreed for, and then after she pockets that in her purse, then she's gonna say, okay, what do you want? And I'm like, what do you mean, what do you want? Anything else that you want is extra. So like they got the different tiers for like a hand job or a blow job, and then like the highest tier would be like the sex part, and like they're gonna ask for like 500 or 800 or even 1,000, you know, which ends up costing you over 1,000 because they already got the 250 off you, and you feel like you are invested already. Like you can't send her away because then you get nothing for the 250. You could send her away and be like, fuck that, you know, but they won't tell you that till they have the money in their hand, you know, because they already made you think they're gonna give you everything before you know, before they got the money. And like I've gotten a couple where the girl actually banged, and like, you know, but still it wasn't really worth it. And the girl was never smoking hot, you know, not like the ones in the picture that are smoking hot. So like then they're gonna ask you for the rest of the money, and sometimes you won't have that kind of money on you, you know, like all that cash. If they're asking for 800 or whatever, they'll ask you to Venmo or do pay some other way. And then a lot of the time they're like really weird about it, and like, you know, some of them will even try to like clean you off with some fucking sanitizer on your dick, you know, like that kind of extreme stuff. So for me, I just will never do it again. I've learned my lesson the hard way, and that's why I'm trying to tell you guys and the guy who wrote the email, you know, I'm gonna call you Jay. All right, Jay, in the email, you know, don't even bother doing it. And like, I know you're going, I don't know if you booked your trip already, but don't do it. Like, if you haven't even booked your trip already, don't even go. I'm gonna keep going, and you know, I just wanted to stop there because I don't want you to go to the fucking to go to Vegas and then if you haven't already done it, and then well, I'll keep going about the Vegas thing because there's the rest of the things he writes. So the other things about Vegas, so I might as well give you some tips if you are gonna go to Vegas, because I could discourage you all that I want, but you may not listen, or you may still be going, and it's your only chance to go bang a chick outside of your hometown because your wife knows you're going to Vegas already. So if you have to do it, then I'm gonna give you some tips on how to do it. So like, your best bet is to find the girls that are alone walking around or playing a slot machine, that are dressed up like in nightclub wear, like or sitting at a bar, you know, at one of the spots. Usually they're gonna be sitting out in front of a nightclub, like a popular nightclub. They'll be sitting out at the bar, playing one of the video poker machines at the bar, or they'll be playing a slot machine near the entrance or exit of the nightclub. And those girls are independents. So you can go sit next to them and just strike up a conversation and, like, you know, ask them what they're doing, why are they alone, you know, then they'll get to the point. And then if they don't think you're a cop, then they'll open up to you and tell you if you want company. And like, what I found is like, those are like $500 to $800 from the last time I went to Vegas, maybe, like, and I tried it like maybe about 2 years ago, and 2 to 3 years ago. This is a lot better than the escort thing because you get to see what you're gonna get. It's already there in front of you. You can see, you know, what she looks like, so there's no bait and switch. And usually when they do get up to the room, you know, then they won't try to extort you for more money like the escort agency. But this is where you got to be careful not to give them all the money up front, because then they might just, you know, bounce or pull the bait and switch, and then, you know, maybe do the half up front, half after, you know, and show them the money. But you know, you could possibly negotiate the price if they're desperate for money. And like, you know, I had one really good experience with a girl a long time ago. I was playing blackjack, and it was only me. It was a weeknight, and Vegas was really empty. And she came up and sat and changed $200 next to me. We were playing like the $25 minimum double deck blackjack, and we played for a little bit, and then we ended up both losing. And so she was leaving, and then I asked her, "Hey, where are you going?" She's all, "I lost my money, so I'm leaving." And then she's all, "What about you?" I said, "I don't know, nothing." She's all, "You want to go smoke some weed?" I said, "Yeah, but I don't got any." And she's all, "Yeah, I got some." And I said, "Where?" She's all, "In my car." And she's like, "If you want to go smoke, we can go smoke real quick." And so I went, and like when I was about to leave, the pit boss and the dealer were both like waving their head saying, "No, no, 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 don't go with her," kind of like warning me, don't go with her. And like, I didn't give a fuck. The girl was hot, hot white blonde girl. And then I just left with her. I didn't care what the people were saying. And so we went up to the parking structure, and I was like, "All right, where's your car?" And she's all, "Right here." I was like, wow, she had a 745 BMW. I was like, "Damn, how the hell do you have this?" And she's like, "Oh, I got a sugar daddy." So look at this, guys. If you're a sugar daddy or a sucker simp that's doing this for a hot girl, buying her a car or whatever, look what they do. He probably gave her the money to go gamble too. And so what does she do? She go meets a guy, smokes weed with him in the car he bought, and then is like some random stranger he met, and then we're gonna go smoke in that car. So she opens up the glove, and then a blunt pops up, and so we smoke the blunt, and then and then she's all, "So what are you gonna do now?" After I was like, "I don't know, I got a hotel room over here at the Mirage." So we went up to the Mirage, and then we had drinks, and she's all, "You want company?" I said, "Sure." And then I said, "How much?" And she said, "Just give me 150. I thought that was fucking cool. I think it wasn't even about the money, because she lost 200 at the table. She didn't even ask for the 200 she lost. So, I thought that was really cool. And I know that's an out of the ordinary thing to happen. That's why I wanted to share that. But most of the time, they're going to be $500 to $800 for you to go with them. So you can try and negotiate if you want, especially if it's a slow time, a weekday or something where they got no business, there's nobody, then you got a chance. So try with that. If you have to do it, look for that. But if you can't find that, I suggest don't even bother with the escort thing. Save your money, save your money for a ticket and come down to TJ, to fly out to San Diego and cross the border, go to TJ. Like I mentioned, check my other videos where I talk about that, And then like, if you're gonna go to the strip clubs and think you're gonna get laid at the strip clubs, don't even bother with that. You're gonna go get the expensive drinks, expensive VIP room lap dances where they make you feel like you're gonna get laid, and you're gonna pay like $300 to $500 for a private lap dance for like 3 songs, and you ain't gonna get nothing, just them grinding on you. You won't be able to like suck on their tits or do any of that stuff. Some of them won't even let you touch them, once you're back there. And like the bouncers monitor that shit, so it's hard for them to do it. Even if they wanted to, then they couldn't, because there's cameras and the bouncers are there checking every few minutes or so, So yeah, they're gonna be hot, but you ain't gonna get nothing. And like, I've gotten a lot of success before where I've gotten their number and gone out with them and then achieved the goal after that. So that was cool, but that's hard to do too. Like, out of maybe 10 that I would ask, I'll probably only get to do it with one or two. And like, that's kind of like the ratio. So don't get your hopes up thinking like, just because a girl gives you her number and says you'll go out or whatever, that it's gonna happen. Unless she specifically said if you're gonna pay her like how much and she named the price, then yeah, most likely it's gonna happen. But that's your best chance. Like, so those are my tips for Vegas. You could do a massage parlor too, but like, the massage parlors are always like old Asian ladies, or I've done a couple massage parlors where they did have some young girls there too, so it's hit and miss, but it's still scary, and it's way cheaper than what you would get one of these girls in the strip club or playing in the casino, the escorts playing at the prostitutes playing in the casino, or the escorts that you're gonna call. Don't even bother. So like I said, save your money that you're gonna use on these escorts, which you're gonna spend like maybe $800, $1,000. Save your money, buy your ticket, fly into San Diego. It's only gonna be what, $200 to fly to San Diego, $400 at the most, and then walk across, take the border, cross the border, and take the limo to the clubs that I mentioned. And then like, the girls are only $100 there, and it's guaranteed. You don't got to worry, don't got to play any of these games. It's guaranteed you're gonna have the end result. And And then like for what you would have spent on one girl, you would have already got, you could have got 5 girls, you know, up to 10 girls. And so like, let me keep reading this, and then so I could tell you what the rest of the thing the guy said, that Jay said. And so he said, his wife is from Vietnam, born and raised. We travel to Vietnam as a family and have a home there. I say that to say I could never pull off a trip to anywhere in Asia because she knows the game better than I do, probably. So that's true. Like if you're with an Asian woman and like she's from like one of these countries, the Philippines, Thailand, you know, Cambodia, Vietnam, where the girls, it's like okay for them to do this kind of stuff for a living, for sure they know what's up. If you do go out somewhere there by yourself, they know what you're there going to do. So him trying to go do the Asia thing ain't gonna work. He's right about her knowing the game most likely better than he does. And he says TJ may be an option in the future, but I don't know how I would do it without her eventually figuring out what I'm up to though. All right, so this is the part where I'm gonna give him some advice for you guys to go, because if you could go to Vegas, I asked him, I said, so what's going on in Vegas? And he said he does get a little bit of time off, you know, to go do these kind of things like Vegas. And then okay, so he said, please give me some feedback. I want to keep my marriage. I do love my wife, but I reach a point where I got to get some strange from time to time, and I don't know where to start off other than Vegas and have to pay 5 to 6 times the rate of other countries, more than 5 to 6 times. You know, also being new to this, it's a learning phase I have to go through, and that's what's also scary to me. And that's why I make these videos, so you guys can shorten your learning your learning curve when you're doing this. And so, like he said, he wants to keep his marriage and he does love his wife. I'm gonna stop right there and talk about that. Like, a lot of guys do that. I have a lot of friends that are married and they all come down, get it out of their system, like what this guy wants to do. It's not that they want to be with these girls or marry one of these girls, it's just to satisfy that urge, that sexual urge that they want. But they don't want to lose their wife, they love their wife. Even though their wife may be overweight or older or whatever, it's not the point. They love who they are on the inside and they don't want to ruin that, and this is the only thing they can do to like get it out of their system. And he feels the same way. Don't end your relationship just because you want to bang other chicks, Scott, you know, Jay. Like, just do what my friends are doing. Come down, you know, come down real quick, get it out of your system, and go back before dinner, before anyone even knows what you went and did. But in your case, you're from far away, so it would have to be a couple days. But like what I'm saying, for you, my suggestion is book your trip to San Diego instead, and I'm gonna give you some excuses for you guys to use, kind of like what my friends use. Like, you know, it's kind of funny, some of the excuses, but it worked. So the really funny excuse, well, I'll tell you some common excuses, you know. Say there's like a conference or something in San Diego that you got to go to that has to do with work, or make it up, meet a client, or whatever you need to say, but it's in San Diego. They won't suspect anything when you say San Diego because it's a respectable, high class, expensive town, beach town, you know. It sounds less suspicious than going to Vegas, you know, because Vegas, they know that there's strippers and it's called Sin City, even though it's just a tease and all that's just marketing gimmicks and stuff like that. It's not really Sin City. It's more like rip-off city, scam city. That's what should be what it's called. You know, so like I was saying, do like a private consulting job, or you know, say you got a contract or conference or something that you got to do out in San Diego, or you're looking at property or whatever it is. These are just some excuses that I'm trying to tell you that you can use, you know, and like book an Airbnb in a hotel or a cheap hotel there. If you got to prove it to her that you're there, you know, show her the hotel reservation and like get it and check in there, and then you could even take pictures. So here's what you can do is book that, go there, take a bunch of pictures, send it to her, take a bunch of other pictures, go to different places real quick in a short amount of time, go to like a restaurant, pretend you're eating, take some selfies there, you know, pretend like you're eating there, drinking, go to the beach and take a couple pictures, bring a change of clothes, change your clothes if you're staying for a couple days, and take pictures so that it looks like a different day. So use the pictures for each different day while you're there, and then while you're all the time during the other time, you're already across the border. And then when she asks you, you know, what are you doing? Oh, hey, I'm in a work meeting, you know, or go take some pictures with some guys that are in a suit and say, hey guys, you mind if I take a picture with you real quick? My wife thinks I'm on a business trip. You know, I need to make it look like I'm meeting you guys for a conference, for a business trip or whatever. Or go to a conference that's there and take some pictures at the conference so you can send some stuff. But you get what I'm trying to say, you know. And they won't mind if you tell them what you're doing it for. A lot of them will laugh and like help you. So you do that. And like another excuse that one of my friends used, what was funny, is they said they won a contest, like a 3-day 2-night stay in San Diego. All, you know, the lodging was paid for and whatever. And they used that as an excuse to go down there, and the wives bought it. I thought that was hilarious. I'll never forget that excuse that they used, man. Like, you know, I know that's kind of extreme, and I thought it was funny and dumb, but it worked, you know. So that's another excuse. So, you know, that's I think what your best bet is to do. And like, don't waste your money, save your money, cancel the Vegas trip and change it to go to San Diego instead. Like, I don't know, whatever it is you gotta say, but just don't go to Vegas and don't waste your money. Unless you like gambling or whatever, you may have other reasons to go and you have to go, then go. Or go to Vegas, handle your business, take a bunch of pictures, do the same strategy, change clothes, take a bunch of pictures in different places so you can say you're there, and then fly out to San Diego, and then cross back, and then you can fly straight back to your spot, or fly to Vegas and then fly back if your wife's gonna pick you up looking for a Vegas flight. You know, so I think those are the best ways for you to do it. And like, make sure you bring a passport, because you're gonna need a passport. And like, if you bring your passport, a lot of the times when you cross, the immigration agent might even ask you, do you want me to stamp it? Tell them, no, I don't want you to stamp my passport, because you don't want your wife to know or whatever. And a lot of the time they won't stamp it if you ask them to. So if you're worried about your wife finding out if you cross the border, you can do it without them knowing if you ask the guy to not stamp your passport. So I think those are the best bets for you to do, for my advice in your situation. And just come down often, man. Every time you feel the urge, go. Already plan out your year ahead of time of like all the conferences that you're gonna go to, so it doesn't look like you're making shit up last minute. You know, have it planned. Hey, I'm going to this on this day. I'm going to this on this day. So she already knows you're gonna be doing it, and make it look like it's related to work, you know? And then, you know, like if it is for work, let's say you are an employee or something and you can't get away, call in sick and do it, but pretend like it's a work thing that you're going to, and just follow the same strategy that I said about taking pictures and like going somewhere, taking pictures with like guys that look like they're doing a business or whatever, you know, and so that you could show them proof if they want. And sometimes they're gonna want to video call you, just don't answer. And like, sometimes your phone is gonna ring differently if you're in another country. If you don't want that to happen, turn your phone off in airplane mode the moment before you cross the border, because once it catches a Mexican cell phone provider, it's gonna ring with that international ring, and people are gonna be like, where the fuck are you? It sounds like you're in another country. And so don't let your phone catch cell phone reception from any of the Mexican towers, otherwise it's gonna ring. Use your Wi-Fi calling, use Messenger, Facebook Messenger, use WhatsApp to call. If you're gonna call, tell them to call you on that, or start preparing yourself to have them get used to you not calling on a regular phone. Call using Messenger, start using Messenger instead. That way you can connect to Wi-Fi, and you can tell them, hey, I don't have good signal, I'm connected to Wi-Fi only, this is the only thing that works. So that will help you on your strategies to keep this a secret and like be able to do this without her finding out. Let me see if there's anything else I need to cover here. So yeah, looks like I answered everything. Being new to this, there's a learning phase I have to go through, and that's also scary. Yeah, it's super scary if you've never done this before, and like the urge is so strong that it's making him do these things that he's never done before, and so he's gonna do it. Así está abajo. Mucho, sí puedes. Voy a cambiar la canción. Hey, Macarena. So yeah, that's scary, guys. Like the first time you don't know, like, and that's what makes these guys pay the 5 to 6 times. Oh, here's the other thing that you could do if you do go to Vegas and you're scared about getting busted or whatever. You can go to those ranches out in like Laughlin, which is like 45 minutes to an hour away from Vegas, they got these like brothels that it's legal, but you're gonna pay a premium price for the girls, you know, over $1,000, you know. But you'll get a guaranteed thing that you want. So if you want that, then you can. That's also an option if you have the time and the resources. See, está mucho. She got the munchies. She's gonna dig in this bag of candy. She's so hot, man. Look at that. She said, "Oh, I'm gonna bring my red bra for you." I said, "Ooh, I like that." See how nice these girls are? Look at that. She's gonna dig for some candies. She has a sweet tooth. She loves boba. They never tried boba before. It's an Asian thing, and Mexicans, boba is something new. And I let her try it one time. She fell in love with it. She always wants it every time she comes over, so we gotta order it. I order it at this boba spot on Uber Eats, and then she loves it. Baby, see, she heard it. She just said it. She wants boba after she heard me talking about it. She loved it. I brought her to this vegan food festival. And she's like, "What is this?" And she tried it. She's like, "Ooh, I like it. ¿Te gusta la boba? Está muy rico." So I got her on that. So we're gonna order that later. But yeah, guys. So going through it, it's scary, you know. But my advice: whatever you're doing and you're horny, you're in the same position that this guy's in. Fly to San Diego. Follow the instructions I just gave you. Walk across and follow my instructions in the other video. My top tips and things for you to go to strip clubs in Tijuana. That'll tell you everything you need to know for your trip to Tijuana. So use that as a guide. And then, you know, if you have other questions that like wasn't covered in that, reach out to me and I'll like try and help you and cover that. Because if I get enough questions for that same type of question that you're having, I'll just do a video about it so it'll help other people, because chances are there's other people like this guy who wants to do this and are feeling this but just don't have anywhere to look. They don't have anyone to talk to. No one's talking about this stuff and like helping guys like that. So that's why I don't mind doing it. I've been doing it for a long time. I have the same needs and wants that you guys have, and like I'm willing to travel to satisfy it. So if you have the resources and the time, do it. Come down here, you know, and I gave you all the tips for it. So that's it for now, guys. Hope that helps. Hope that helps you, Jay, and I hope to see you here and hope to hear that you didn't waste your money in Vegas and that you came straight down. If you do come down, let me know. I'll try and meet up with you, man. All right, cool, man. I'll talk to you soon. Adios. Pura vida. Oh, wait, one more time. Oh, wait, un momento. If you're in the same situation as Jay and you're married and you're like feeling the same way, write in the comments, you know, like guys like reading that shit, or share it with one of your friends that's in this situation that you guys talked about this before or are talking about it, and like plan your guys' trip. You guys can coordinate and go together and make a plan so that both of your wives or whatever, you guys have an excuse that you can work on it together so it's, you know, less suspicious. Or just do it by yourself, man. Don't be afraid to go by yourself. I suggest you go by yourself. It's better traveling alone. You get a lot more done and get all the things you want to do done without having to worry about entertaining someone or worrying about what the other person, if they like to do it or not. So that's my advice for you guys. All right, cool. Hope you like that, and hope you guys got a lot out of that and got some ideas out of it. All right, cool. Adios. Pura vida. He said bye-bye. Well, guys, if you coming down here to Cancun, Playa del Carmen, I have friends down here as well that can take care of stuff. If you're headed down to Costa Rica, I got friends in Costa Rica that can help take care of the stuff, you know, help assist with transportation and activities and lodging and things like that. And then the business that helped me live this life is the credit card service business. So if you own a business and you're still paying the credit card fees, you don't have to do that anymore. Stop wasting your money. You could be enjoying it every month instead of like whatever you're paying to the bank, $1,000, $2,000 to the bank every month. You take it and go on a vacation. Look at the ocean, how beautiful it is down here, and the weather is perfect. It's so early in the morning, I'm already sweating. It's tropical, and people are swimming down there, if you could see. And the only thing I wish that was down here is that there was more waves. But like I said, if you own a business, you don't have to pay for the fees. You can use it for vacation, take your family out, reinvest in your business, or whatever it is you want to do with it. It's way better than wasting it, paying it to the bank and getting nothing in return. So that's it. Send me an email or write in the comments. I'll be glad to help you out. All right, that's it for now. Talk to you guys later. Adios. Pura vida.